Hello, good morning, afternoon, good evening, however you are, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of Aaron Smith Can't Lose, the one of the final two episodes of Aaron Smith Can't Lose. It is Saturday, June 29th, 2024. I'm recording this in the evening, and I'm just going to have a good time doing it. As I mentioned before, if you haven't heard, I will be starting a new show in the fall, September. I'm very excited about it. Podcast Plus and Audio One have invited me to do a brand new show on a brand new platform that is starting up. I had a great conversation with the director of programming, Mike Rags, and I thought it was a very great conversation, and he sold me. And as I said before, I knew coming in that this was going to be it. So realistically, regardless, this was the last season anyway of this particular podcast. I'm a family man now. I have more responsibilities, and life sometimes gets to you where you can't just sit down and just do a show. But I make time the best that I could when doing this episodes and shows and whatnot. But you know how I am by now. You should know, for those that listen. This is just a very honest conversation, very open conversation, if you will. Sometimes I go off the rails, and it is what it is. I'm a human being, and God loves me for who I am, and I make mistakes, and not perfect, but hey, that's the title of the show. Aaron Smith Can't Lose. It started off as a parody of Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which was a TV show in the 90s, which nobody remembers but me, and maybe like a few people. But that's pretty much what it came down to. And I just thoroughly enjoyed doing this. All the wonderful people and all the wonderful guests that I've had. And so, for those who came on the show over the years, and even if I don't speak to you anymore, for whatever reasons, that's just how life is, especially in the world of comedy. I will admit that, I was kind of rough around the edges, but I will always say I've been honest with myself, and I will continue to be that way. And most importantly, I just had fun doing this, and I had a good time just engaging with all walks of life, all different types of people, not just comedians that came on the show. There are a few people who were advocates of certain causes, autism awareness, Black Lives Matter, racial issues, political issues, what have you, whatnot. I learned and I grew as it was just at first, just having fun and having a good time. And, I have a couple of my friends, and I can't think. There is one person that I forgot to thank on my Instagram Live, and I'm going to have to apologize. I want to say it right here on this podcast. Jeffrey Frazier, who was my friend from high school, who was my co-host in the first 2 seasons, a couple of episodes with me, and I can't thank him enough for coming in and just having a good time with me and chopping it up and just having a good laugh over the years. And he made it more fun and more engaging, you know. And um, I'm going to tell you a funny story. This is just going to be what I like to call how this all started. So basically, how this all started was I was on a podcast called Big Talk and Brewskis with Marissa Smith. No relation. Shout out to Marissa wherever you are. Uh, but and I realized that I can do this thing, and I just enjoyed just engaging with fellow comedians on certain politics and certain talk, and I would just kind of just be like, hey, like I don't really agree with that. And I would, say certain things and talk certain things, and people were like, oh, calm down, it's just a joke, it's comedy, and all this other stuff. And yeah, it was at first, but people were just like come out of their mouths, and I had to defend myself. And I was like, wait a second, I can make a show out of this. And that's how Aaron Smith was born. So I guess indirectly, I have to give her credit too. And most importantly, shout out to David Glover, and I did mention him in the IG as well, because he gave me the platform to get started. And that's where that particular episodes, when I was on the show with Marissa's show, it was starting there too, because I did comedy with her, and I will also give her due for putting me on her shows and give me a chance to go out there and just be myself and be engaging. We didn't always agree to disagree, so shout out to Marissa Smith, and I appreciate you for getting me started. But see, even people I don't talk to anymore, I plug. People I don't like, I plug. People that I just do it. It's just what it is. Like I said, I'm over it, and I wish these people well. And I can't. Like I said, I'm doing my thank yous. I could be doing my FUs, but I'd rather be humble and gracious enough to be like, you know what, no. I said before that I'm a firm believer in God, and I believe that He puts people in your life and out of your life for a reason. And I believe that this new journey in this podcast, that's what it's going to be. That's something that's going to obviously grow into something that, will be 10 times greater than Aaron Smith Can Lose would ever be. And I'm looking forward to it. So I'm just going to enjoy the ride. I'm going to enjoy the summer with my wife and my daughter, and just have a good time, just living it up and being safe, obviously, in the OK Corral that is now known as New York City. But it's not that bad, but it ain't that good either. And a lot of people can attest to that who live here. And realistically, I always pray on it too. And I would say, if I can get out of here with my family and not look back in New York, it'll always be in my heart. But I would love that. I really do. I've been looking in that. But just while we're here, we just do what we got to do and stay out of the way so God can do it for us. And that's it. And that's all I got to say about that. But going back to how I first started doing the show, I started doing actually video podcasts because that's what the platform was at first. In studio downtown Manhattan, Wall Street, and I just would do 40-minute, maybe sometimes 2 episodes in once, and just basically just go off the top of my head. It was always that concept. It was always that how I did things. And, if I did comedy shows, I would plug them. And I would plug the show on my podcast, we're better than free press, But I think I will absolutely do video podcasts in this new show because, it's a lot better and a lot more engaging to see, my expressions and how I would talk about certain things, how I come up with certain things. And I think honestly, I'm pretty entertaining guy. I know a little bit of something, and I can be brutally honest at times. But if you want to blame anybody for that, when I was a younger kid, I think I did say this in a previous podcast. I always go back sometimes, and I would say, and my mother would tell me when I was, I don't know, 5 years old or something, and she would say, Aaron, what's wrong with you? If you want to say something, you speak up for yourself, and don't let nobody tell you not to think for yourself, and not speak up for yourself. So, hey, I love you, Ma, but hey, this is what you did. It made me honest. So if anybody got a problem with it, hey, that's what it happened. So, but I cannot. I'm just joking. I love you, Ma, and I couldn't thank her enough for giving me the voice to be myself at such a young age, and now being 40, and I just believe that that's what I'm going to do. The same for my daughter when she gets up that age. Just to be, think for herself and to speak for herself. Not always have to agree with the status quo. Not to always have to agree because somebody says, oh, it's okay to do. No, you're not supposed to do that. If you don't feel comfortable in a situation, if you don't feel comfortable talking about something, you don't have to talk about it. But if you feel like you need to be heard, you need to say something and speak up for yourself. You don't have to be in a certain situation. You have to be bothered with anything. You ain't got to be a Democrat, Republican, whatever the hell you be whatever the hell you want to be. I had currently at this point, ironically, I am not enrolled in a party. I just remember that. I believe I did that last year because I was, I'm fed up with both sides, honestly, and I'm going to get into the election a little bit, but going back to what I said, when I would like my daughter to basically speak for herself and not have nobody speak for her, not even me, not her mother, not my wife, who's her mom, obviously. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. And let's keep that gravy train rolling, man. And just, it's always good to be yourself and not to fit in and not to be one with the crowd. I think Dr. Seuss said it best. You have to be odd to be number one. And he was right. So, and yeah, we know all about his past and being a bigot and a racist, supposedly. I don't know about that. You can Google it. I don't have time to get into all that. But everybody's got a story, man. Some just have better ones, and so most people want to listen to them. This is just gonna be that type of show, folks. I'm just sitting here reflecting. And, I realized that I tried to stop doing this show several times. I just gave up. It wasn't flowing. It wasn't working. At one point, I wasn't trying to shell out the bucks for studio time or trying to, to invest in it. I just stopped comedy at one point back in 2018 before the pandemic really hit. And it was 2019 the pandemic started. But, discouraged by how the business was at that point and how people were at this point. And I'm not one to cry over spilt milk, but I'm not going to punch somebody over it either. It's just like, I'm fucking done. I was fucking done. And I am to a point as well right now because I realize that people are going to judge you no matter what because they have their opinion already set about you. So why do you want to just sit there and make somebody like you or love you or care for you? I'm at the, and I know, and everybody should know that God loves you and Jesus loves you, and that's good enough for me. And as far as I'm concerned, I really care less about anybody. My family loves me, and I got one good friend who I've known over 30 years. So that's fine by me. And I've met a whole bunch of other people, other good folks in comedy that I still talk to, who I already shouted out in the last episode and on the IG Live. So shout out to them as well. But I'll probably give you one more at the end of this one. But yeah, I tend to repeat myself sometimes, and I guess I have to apologize for that. No, I don't, because sometimes you have to reiterate your point to people, and that you don't want to be bothered with certain crap anymore, that you don't want to be concerned with certain things anymore. I mean, a lot of things I used to like take my time up, and politics was one of them. Then I realized, and I sat down to myself, it was like, you know what? Like, no, fuck this. Like, they're all equally full of shit. It's just that one is more honest than the other. And, with their bullshit, and go figure. So I was like, now, it's, things with the sports and, things that they were not necessary. It was not making dollars. It don't make sense. So what was I concerned about it for? And I still dabble, in conversations with certain people about certain topics. But if I'm not getting paid for it, I don't care, and I'm not arguing with anybody anymore, unless you'll put some money on the table. However, I do consider myself a good debater and a good moderator and a good person of talking. I have good jargon with me, so if you willing and if you got a good price, I'm willing to holler at you too, and we can shoot the shit about some things. Maybe I can do that on the next show. I did do a uh, poll. I had two names for the new show, and I'm coming to a conclusion that the title that I originally thought of is going to be that. So probably by the end of this podcast, I will be posting on my social media, and I have to get back to Mr. Rags about this as well, and get that floating. Sometime around August, I'm going to get everything good and ready, and like I said, in September, that's when the show's going to get up and running, brand new show. This is a chance to this is my shot, and I'm not gonna fucking blow it for anything. And I just pray that it all works out one way or the other. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna have a good time with it, but I'm gonna be serious about it as well. And you know, it's just gonna be fun, serious, but fun, engaging, but fun. And I'm looking really forward to it. And I talk about God a lot, I talk about Jesus a lot, because like I said, I have more matured as a person, and I would not be here if it wasn't for them. And I realize that, and I understand people have a lot of issues with spirituality and organized religion. So do I. I believe that there are churches that are not of God, and they use people. I'm not currently in a church right now. My family and I are not currently in church right now. So I understand that. But I've also believed that we were, as Christians, to love everybody. And most of us don't do that. And that's hard to. And trust me, there's a whole bunch of people that I can't stand. Like, I'm just going to be honest, and I've been honest to God about it too. But I pray for those people, and I really do. And, it may sound hypocritical of me because, I get that as well. And I understand that that's your opinion, but I don't think so. But it's better than cursing and arguing with people, which I've done too, and may continue to do. We're human. But, I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago. Hell, even 2 years ago. So I really believe that this is all for the better, and this is because of him. And through him, I will make it work. And hopefully glorify and do for him through this podcast. He may not like most of the things I have to say, but he'll forgive me. And I know this. So, moving on from that, I just think that it's not going to be a religious show. We're not going there. We're going to talk about everything. Now, believe this or not, I actually held back in Aerosmith Can't Lose. There was a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, a lot of controversial issues and series of events, and a lot of things that would have really basically turned people off, or maybe disgusted them, or maybe made them offended, even though everybody's offended about something right now. And that's just the norm, and that's unfortunate, and it's sad, really. But I'm not going to hold back at this new show. I may lose some friends because of this show. I may just some family members for this show. I'm okay with that because I believe that in this country of ours, you allow to speak what you have to say within reason. We all know as black and brown folk that may not necessarily be the case. But I just gonna put it out there and say what I have to say and be done with it. And if you agree with it, don't like it, well, that's on you. And, I'm not going to blatantly put anybody, oh, excuse me. I'm an old man now. I'm 40, and it's 10 o'clock as I'm recording. But, excuse me, I'm at this point that I want to say what I want to say, and I want to enjoy saying it while I say it. And you either have to like it or not. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you know, some people think come off me as standoffish, or they feel like they can't speak with me, or they can't talk to me, or they've heard things about me. But my thing is, you don't come to me. You don't speak to me directly. You don't talk to me directly. And I'm not going to reach out to you. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to make peace with you or try to do what I used to do. Like, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. And, I shouldn't have said it. I should have done. I'm like, you know what? It is what it is at this point. I can't please everybody, and I'm not going to. So, deal with it. And sometimes I make myself mad about that because I do feel a certain way, and I have, some conflict in me. Sometimes, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this, maybe I shouldn't do that. But you know what? That's life, man. Like I said earlier, we all human, man, and we all forgiven, man. So it is what it is. God forgives, so I shall too. Even though sometimes I don't want to, I do. And if people don't want to forgive me for whatever I said to them, or didn't say to them, or didn't talk to them, or didn't bother with them, or I didn't vote for the person they voted for, or whatever have you, or I did something to them, and no, and and been sorry and apologize. I'm not doing that anymore. It is what it is. God forgave me, so that's good enough for me. I think I said that before too, but yeah, it is what it is. But I think I originally said that I was gonna do like 2 episodes, and I said that earlier. I think this should be it. This should be it. This is just, you know, the last one, the last hoorah, uh, the final dance, countdown, shindig, hoopla, all that good stuff. I don't think I need to break this into 2 shows. I think I have to say what I'm going to say in one and put this to bed and just get ready for the new gig and the new show. And I'm very excited about that. I can't say that enough. Because I think that I was done and I want to be over with it and just wash my hands clean of it and got this opportunity to just truly be myself. Like I cannot express it enough, you know, and not having to worry about uh, saying something or doing something or somebody violating somebody's rules or whatever have you, which I haven't done. I could have because I held back because of the platform that I was on that I'm currently leaving, and yeah, but it's just I'm just enjoying this ride, and it has been bumpy. It's has been perfect, but it's been all right, you know. And I'm just looking forward to it. All of it, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad, all that. It's fun and exhausting at the same time, annoying sometimes, angry sometimes, WTF sometimes. Jesus Christ, why is this happening sometimes? But that's life, man. Just like comedy and podcasting, you take the good with the bad. Sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you don't. But I'm just gonna run down a bunch of people that I either thanked or didn't thank before. I'm just gonna do that one more time, and I'm gonna wrap this up and just call this a podcast. Man, so once again, shout out to all the comedians that I've been over the years, even the ones I don't talk to anymore, even the ones I don't speak to anymore. I want to give a special thanks to most importantly God, and without anything, all things are possible. I can't stress that enough. Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I can't stress that enough. So shout out to, and not one order, I'm going to see this on the top of my head, Shari Lennox, once again Jeffrey Frazier, Ron Barber, Hector Louise, Oni Francis, Lisa Harmon, Bob Kitson, Luke Ashlock, Chris Fack, and Marissa Smith, Rodney Daniels. Who else has been on the show? Okay, off the top of my head, because I don't think I can't think of any comedian. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Eurydice Roman, from Epic Productions. It was a great and up and coming comedian. You're going to check her out, and she's going to be big. I guarantee she's going to be a good guy all day. So look out for Eurydice Roman, and check out her stuff. She has a YouTube from Robin Epic Productions, and she's very hilarious. She's very funny. She's got an awesome son who is autistic. Shout out to him as well. My wife, Sagran, my daughter, Diana, my mother, my sister, my nieces, my cat, my fat orange cat. Shout out to, even if you don't like me, even if you never even bothered with this watching or listening to this show, thank you, because you made this possible as well. Without it, I would not have this opportunity to still be here and really engaging. And all I ask for people is, you don't have to agree with me all the time. You don't have to speak with me all the time. You just have to hear me out. So I will be posting here and there on my social media, highlights from the first couple of seasons of Aaron Smith Can't Lose that are on my YouTube. If you could just go to Google, you type in Aaron Smith Can't Lose, it'll pop up. You go on YouTube and you just put Aaron Smith Can't Lose, it'll pop up right there. All of my videos are there. My stand-up is there. Especially the one I did like a couple months ago. Like I said, that's a ship that I believe has sailed, but I don't know. You never know in this business. But for right now, I am what they call retired, quote unquote. So I want to just say that. So if you want to check me out, my Instagram is the Aaron Smith. I'm on X, formerly known as Twitter. I had the same handle, the Aaron Smith. Facebook, Aaron L. Smith. And you can also check me out and all of my seasons of Aaron Smith Can't Lose on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and wherever fine podcasts are sold. So for the final time, ladies and gentlemen, this is Aaron Smith. And apparently, I won. Peace.